Hey there, and welcome to Recap Mania. Get ready for a mind-bending journey with the adventure comedy movie, Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver works in a mailroom at a city newspaper. While he is on an assignment in the Bermuda Triangle, a vortex transports him to a magical land of tiny people. Spoilers are ahead, so hold on tight and brace yourself for a thrilling ride. Lemuel Gulliver, a man stuck in a dull job sorting mail at a newspaper in New York City, feels deeply unhappy. He yearns for something more exciting and meaningful in his life. One day he comes up with a plan to impress a journalist named Darcy Silverman. Gulliver wants to prove to Darcy that he has what it takes to be a writer, even though he hasn't traveled much. So he decides to make up a story about his extensive adventures around the world. Gulliver knows that Darcy dreams of being with someone who has exciting experiences and ambitions. He worries that she would not be interested in a guy like him stuck in the mailroom. Overcome by writer's block and desperate to win Darcy's attention, Gulliver takes a shortcut. Instead of writing an original report, he plagiarized articles he finds on the internet and represents them as his own work. To his surprise, Darcy is impressed by the report and believes Gulliver to be a talented writer. She sees potential in him and offers him a new assignment. She wants him to travel to the mysterious Bermuda Triangle and write an article about the legends surrounding the area. Upon reaching Bermuda, Gulliver rents a small ship and ventures into the infamous Bermuda Triangle. However, due to exhaustion, he falls asleep while steering the vessel. Suddenly, a fierce storm arises and a swirling waterspout engulfs Gulliver's ship. Helpless, he is carried away by the tumultuous waves until he eventually washes up unconscious on the shores of Lilliput. To his surprise, Gulliver awakens to find himself surrounded by tiny people who inhabit the land of Lilliput. They consider him to be a monstrous creature due to his immense size. The townsfolk, perceiving him as a potential threat, quickly capture and imprison him in a deep cave. It is in this gloomy confinement that Gulliver encounters another prisoner named Horatio. Horatio reveals that he has been locked away by the General Edward because he has fallen in love with the Princess Mary of Lilliput. The General too desires the affections of the princess and sees Horatio as a rival. Meanwhile, tensions rise between Lilliput and their neighboring island, Lafusia. When the latter sends commands to abduct Princess Mary, despite his captivity, Gulliver manages to break free from the laborious task of operating a plow machine. Seizing this opportunity, he bravely intervenes to rescue Princess Mary from the clutches of the kidnappers. In a daring act, Gulliver also comes to the aid of King Theodore, the ruler of Lilliput, by extinguishing a fire. Gulliver is hailed as a hero by the people of Lilliput, who believe his false claim of being the president of Manhattan. He spins a tale that Yoda, a legendary figure from his homeland, serves as his vice president. However, Gulliver's newfound status and the luxurious accommodations provided to him anger General Edward, who feels resentful and envious. Trouble brews when the townspeople stumble upon Gulliver's boat and personal belongings. To make matters worse, Gulliver receives angry voicemails from Darcy, who has discovered his plagiarism and now despises him. Darcy is forced to take his place and travel to Bermuda instead. The following day, chaos erupts as the Blefuscian Navy launches an attack on Lilliput. Edward, seeking revenge for the treatment of Gulliver, shuts down the city's defense system. In the face of the threat, Gulliver boldly takes on the Armada, seemingly impervious to the cannonballs fired at him. Although he sustains painful welts on his stomach, he emerges victorious. However, Gulliver's triumph is short-lived. Feeling humiliated once again and the Princess Mary distancing herself from him, Edward defects to the Blefuscians. He brings with him blueprints of a robot he created based on a page he saw in Gulliver's Guitar Hero 3 game manual. In secret, the Blefuscians begin constructing the robot, with Edward as its pilot, while the Blefuscians launch a full-scale invasion on Lilliput, led by the robot welding Edward. Gulliver is coerced by Edward to confess to the townspeople that he is merely the guy from the mailroom and nothing more than that. Stripped of his fabricated persona, Gulliver's true identity is exposed, leaving him vulnerable and betrayed. As a consequence, Edward banishes him to the distant and mysterious land of Brobdingnag, often referred to as the island where we dare not go. In Brobdingnag, Gulliver's fortunes take a startling turn as he is swiftly captured by a young girl named Glumdalclitch, who is of giant stature compared to him. With ease, she traps him inside a glass cup, leaving Gulliver feeling trapped and defenseless. Upon waking, Gulliver finds himself in an unfamiliar and unsettling environment, a bedroom within a dollhouse. His surroundings start to tremble as the little girl dismantles the wall of the bedroom, revealing her emotionless and foreboding gaze fixed upon the tiny Gulliver. Overwhelmed with fear, Gulliver screams in terror, realizing the immense power and unpredictable nature of the seemingly innocent giant girl. To Gulliver's dismay, the girl treats him as nothing more than a plaything, subjecting him to rough handling and even dressing him in a pink dress. The girl also forcefully feeds him excess milk from a bottle, further emphasizing his helplessness. Amidst this harrowing situation, Horatio, who had set out to find Gulliver after being rejected by Princess Mary, finds him and reveals that Darcy has also been captured by the Blefuscians. Darcy's predicament mirrors Gulliver's own experience of being lost in the Bermuda Triangle. The newfound knowledge fuels Gulliver's determination to escape the clutches of the giant girl and rescue Darcy from her captors. Spotting a parachute among the remnants of a U.S. Air Force pilot's remains within the dollhouse, Gulliver seizes the opportunity. With the parachute strapped to his back, he bravely leaps from the precarious dollhouse, defying the forces that bind him to the giant world of Brobdingnag, and narrowly escapes with Horatio's assistance. Once again, Gulliver reluctantly agrees to face Edward in a decisive duel that will determine not only the freedom of Lilliput, but also its very existence. Edward threatens to obliterate the entire land if Gulliver fails to defeat him. Undeterred by the high stakes, Gulliver confronts Edward with unwavering determination. In a stunning turn of events, Gulliver emerges triumphant in the duel when Horatio disables the machine's deadly electrocuting weapon. The people of Lilliput celebrate Horatio as a hero, recognizing his bravery and selflessness. With the gratitude and support of King Theodore, Horatio is granted permission to pursue a courtship with Princess Mary, fulfilling his long-held desire. Meanwhile, Edward's descent into madness reaches its peak, and he poses a grave threat to the princess's life. However, after enduring his treachery for far too long, the princess's frustration boils over, and she delivers a resounding punch to the traitorous Edward's face. This act of defiance marks a turning point as the princess refuses to be held captive any longer by his wicked intentions. In the wake of this climactic confrontation, King Theodore is faced with a difficult decision. He contemplates severe punishment for the entire Blefuscian nation, considering either execution by hanging or preparing for war. However, Gulliver steps forward as a voice of reason, advocating for peace and reconciliation between the rival island nations. Drawing upon the power of music and the universal desire for harmony, Gulliver recites the powerful lyrics of Edwin Starr's War. The evocative words resonate with the hearts of the Lilliputians and the Blefuscians, inspiring a collective yearning for peace. Moved by Gulliver's heartfelt plea, both sides begin to see the futility of their animosity and shared desire for a better future. In a momentous turn of events, Lilliput and Blefuscia set aside their grievances, choosing diplomacy over destruction. Negotiations ensue, led by King Theodore and representatives from Blefuscian leadership, facilitated by Gulliver's unwavering commitment to fostering understanding and reconciliation. With the rift between the two nations finally healed, Gulliver and Darcy, who has been freed from her captivity, embark on a journey back to New York City aboard their repaired ship. Gulliver, having shed the falsehoods of his past, emerges as a respected and legitimate travel writer, recognized for his genuine experiences and insightful storytelling. The film concludes with a heartwarming scene as Gulliver and Darcy hand in hand share a joyful lunch together. And here the movie ends. So, with that, this movie recap episode has come to an end. Let us know if you are intrigued to watch the movie after seeing our recap in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more recaps. Till then, goodbye.